To start making your dance music track, we're going to start off with the drum beat. From the new track menu, first of all click Drum Machine, and then you'll be given a default drum beat at the bottom of the screen. Press play to have a listen. So we're going to customize this drum beat to make it sound even more like the sort of thing you'd find commonly in dance music. But let's start by setting the tempo. The tempo is at the top of the screen. If we're going to make our music sound sort of like a classic house beat, we're going to set our tempo to around about 130 BPM. When you've done that, come down to the beat at the bottom of the screen, click on one of the notes that's been already added into the drum beat, click and hold, and then you can actually click across all of the notes like this to delete them. So we're going to clear it, and so we've got nothing left down here. Now we're going to add in our basic 4 to the floor beat. A 4 to the floor beat, which is a classic dance music style beat, is going to have a kick drum, which is this one just down here, on every beat of the bar. Now each beat of the bar is these shaded sections, with the first beat shaded in light grey, the second shaded in dark grey, third here, and fourth here. So we're going to add in the first beat with a kick drum just there, and on the second, and on the third, and on the fourth. They're evenly spaced, making sure they're at the start of each section. And if you now press play, you've got a 4 to the floor kick drum beat like this. Okay, let's make it a bit more interesting. Let's put a snare drum. There's multiple different sounds on the snare drum here. We're going to use the purple one, which is the main snare drum sound, but you are welcome to try the different snare drum sounds to find the one you like. And we're going to put a snare drum sound on beat 2, so just above the kick drum, and another one on beat 4. Let's press play again. And finally, we're going to put in some hi-hats. The hi-hats, again, there are different hi-hat sounds, but the one we're going to go for is the closed hi-hat, which is the kind of orange one just here. We're going to put a hi-hat sound on every beat, just like this, but we're also going to put them in between the beats as well. So in between the beats, we're going to be looking at the third square in each of the main beats. There you go. So there's the main beat, and then we're going to go across like this. And so you'll see that they're dotted evenly across the track like this, with a hi-hat beat, then a space, then a hi-hat beat, then a space, etc. Now if we press play, those evenly spaced hi-hats will give us even more rhythm to our drum beat like this. And that's kind of your classic dance music 4 to the floor beat. Now you can customize that, and you can try adding in some new sounds. For example, you might decide to add some claps in at various points in the track, and you can just have an experiment to see where sounds good. Maybe I'm going to put one here, maybe I'm going to put one just over here. You can try putting some other sounds in, like an open hi-hat could go here, and I'm just kind of experimenting to see what sounds good. Then let's press play and see what my new customized dance beat sounds like. There we go, and you can play around with some more and try adding in new things. Finally, all of this is being played on what's called the 808 kit, which is the 808 kit, which is the default drum kit, but we can actually try changing that to find loads of different sounds that we can use. If you click on the instrument menu just here where it says 808 kit, you can see tons of different drum kits. We're looking for the pad kits just here. The pad kits will give you lots and lots of different options, so have a look through. When you click on one, it'll take the drum beat that you've already made, but now when you play it, it'll be playing it with new kick, snare and hi-hat sounds, and it'll give it a really different feel. That one's got like a really punchy kick drum. Let's try one more. Let's try a different one. And again, I'm just going to play around to see what sounds good. And let's press play. Really different sound there. So that's how to make your standard dance music drum beat. If you'd like to make something that sounds a little bit more drum and bass or a little bit more dubstep, then stick around and watch the rest of the video, and I'm going to explain you how to do that. But if you're happy with making a beat like that, please do go ahead. Now, if you want your drum beat to sound a little bit more like drum and bass music, which is really frantic and fast, what we're going to do is we're going to take the tempo and we're going to put it up to a more like 170 or 180 BPM. Let's say for 170. So it's going to be much faster. If I now press play, this is the speed at 170 BPM. Okay, so it's already a lot faster. The drum and bass beat doesn't actually have a standard 4 to the floor kick drum, so I'm going to get rid of my kick drums here, and I'm going to put my second kick drum in the bar just in the middle of the third beat, just there. Let's have a listen to that now. then you have that kind of feel of dum-ka, 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 which makes it sound a little bit more like that drum and bassy sound. Finally, in drum and bass music, the hi-hats are often really frantic and fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all the gaps of the hi-hats and make them go on every single square in the grid. Let's have a listen to it now. Now it's got my little customizations that I put in before, so let's just get rid of them for the moment and have one more listen. And that's kind of the basics. Again, play around with the different kit sounds because you'll find things that sound even more appropriate to that kind of drum beat. Let's just try one of them. Let's try an EDM here. Oh, in fact, there was one called D&B kit. Let's try that and press play. There we go, so it's got its own kind of sound. If you add in some other sounds on top of that, you can customize it and make it even more interesting. So that's the drum and bass type sound. If you're looking for more of a dubstep-like sound, you want to set the tempo to about 140 BPM, so it's going to be a little bit slower, and you're going to keep these frantic hi-hats going on at the top. But the difference is we're going to make our kick drum and our snare drum what we call half-time, by which I mean instead of having the snare drum on the second beat of the bar, just here, I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm going to put it instead on the third beat of the bar, and I'm going to get rid of my kick drum. So I've only just got the one kick drum and the one snare drum, and let's just try and get rid of a couple of these hi-hats. Going to sound a little bit frantic with all of them the whole time, so let's just get rid of a few. Now I'm doing this almost at random, just to see what that sounds like. Let's press play and have a listen. Now you could try putting some hi-hats in this space as well. And let's try having a look at the different kit sounds and see if we can find one that's going to sound a bit more exciting with that particular beat that we've added in. So let's try the trap kit and press play. Yeah, let's try adding in a couple more hi-hats there and try another one. Here we go. So this kind of beat can work quite well with some great big sort of wobbly bass lines happening on top, which we'll look at in a future lesson. Do customize it though. This is only the basics. So by adding in new sounds on top and trying out lots of different things on top of the basics, you can get a really good sound. So that's how to make your drum beat in Bandlab. Good luck.